Okay, I believe this is pronounced Kair Kadarn. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but that's how I read it. And I, I don't want to say, I don't want to toot my own horn, too much, but I did really well this game, I think, for the units that I had. Obviously, I think I'm not going to be doing too much with too many units because there are so many good players on my team and that plays so much better than I do. But when I'm given units that I could use, I do pretty well. But after this game, it's all downhill, and we'll get into that later. This is week 2 of Osmodian's. Why can't I? Oh, Osmodian's miniature draft style tournament, the after party tournament, and so this is game 3 between Team Osmodian and Team Giant Killer General. Look at some of these players. Let's see if there's anything different here. Adrenaline, Father Xmas, Pablo, Funky, Merc, Ramirez, Chicken Wire, Osmodian, and Sin. I think it's the same. They might have 2 different players sit out because there's only 7 players on Giant Killer General's team. Falcon, LN, Browning, Eastwind, Gecko, and Vicky are going to be there, so it's going to be pretty much the same teams as game number 2. And I'm gonna resize that mini map. And there's also look at the wildlife on this map. It's bats just flying around. Look at that. And they have, for some reason, the author of this map made them turn in place. So they whenever they turn, they just stay in one spot. It looks kind of weird, but that's the behavior that that wildlife tends to have in Myth. Although I don't know, I guess they don't have to fly in place like that. Yeah, I'm thinking of Gimbal in the Wave, where there's like a what is it, like a hawk, some sort of bird that flies around, but I don't think it turns in place like this. Anyway, this is Capture the Flag. So same as the first game, both teams are gonna start out with a flag, and the team to control both flags will win the game. And I think trying to remember what our strategy was on this game. I don't really recall what our strategy was. Now there's this river. You can hide undead, but it's gonna be a similar unit trade to the previous map, except there are not gonna be warlocks, and so I kind of like it. I kind of like that, and actually instead of archers we have soulless, which is the other thing. And only 4 soulless, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 soulless taken all together for Team Osmodian by Adrenaline. Whereas if we look at Giant Killer General's trade, I think there's a lot of soulless. I don't know if it's maximum soulless, but there is a lot of soulless. So it's going to be a pretty heavy artillery trade also with the fetch. I don't know about dwarves though. I don't think there are any dwarves taken by either team. So looking down here for Team Osmo, it's going to be Merc with the southern force. The northern force is going to be Chicken Wire. Both probably I would say that both of those players rank among the best on the team. So it's not a surprise to me that they would be given their own flanks. And I think Mercredon has a reputation for kind of doing best by himself anyway, on his own. And I don't know if that's if that that reputation is accurate or not. But Sin with Father Xmas with the Soulless and Spiders on this impassable terrain hill. It's a good place for them. On this hill, it's going to be Sin with Spiders and Soulless. Very good hill for Soulless to be on. And then in the middle, Adrenaline and Pablo. Although the middle island taken by Giant Killer General's team, Eastwind, Kruniak, and Browning have the fetch here. Falcon with a few Soulless of his own. LN has some Soulless. And Giant Killer General with a lot of Soulless. So the Soulless are going to attempt to take this hill, I think, while the mid kind of pushes in. On the flag, just a Thrall and a few Stygian Knights. And Mercadon is going to... He's going to be scouted, though, by that Spider. He's going to push in there, push through to the flag. And Osmodian, he's going to push back this middle force. I believe that was that Eastwind? I don't know, but right now, as of right now, Team Osmodian is up slightly in percentages. Browning is going to have to run away. He might end up losing all of his units. He is getting sandwiched. He loses his fetch, and he might end up losing his last remaining Stygian Knight. Well, Eastwind and Kruniak retreat to the middle island. They're just going to sit there. While that happened, let's see. While that happened, oh, here. The Soulless won the battle for this hill. So there's a few Soulless of Giant Killer General's team aimlessly wandering around looking for targets to pick off. So far, it's fairly even, pushing 70%. Here's Father Xmas. And Giant Killer General he has all of his Soulless and Spiders. He's going to attempt to basically block Mercadon from advancing here. And Chicken Wire is going to be advancing also. And Eastwind is sent to kind of deal with that. So Mercadon hiding behind the tree, but it's not enough. He manages to take out so many units, though. As we saw, there was a lot of Spiders and Soulless, and most of them just got zapped, I believe, by Mercadon. Stupid slow camera, weren't able to see that. Meanwhile, ooh, some pretty tough shots there. Gecko had a large Soulless force that he was so stealthy I didn't even see where he came from. I didn't even notice him on the minimap. And he's going to be cleaning up Father Xmas's Spiders, attempting to run in here. Very clutch heal there by Eastwind. He is going to be able to, with Falcon's help, take out Chicken Wire. So now the middle, Adrenaline and Pablo, for Osmodian's team, they are going to advance. This is their last push to take the flag. They are going to clean up a few units there, but all of a sudden, Giant Killer General and the remaining Soulless are going to converge and basically keep them from advancing by forcing their fetch to turn and face them. And Kruniak has some fetch of his own, and he's going to try to jump some shots in there. There was a shot that jumped off the water into these Soulless, but didn't actually kill anything. And then Gecko is going to be joining in. So it's 48 to 40% at this point. 5 minutes remaining. And Pablo is going to be forced to retreat. Let's see, where can they go? They're probably just going to retreat back to their flag. Yep. Osmodian had a Stygian Knight. He had sent it to kind of harass the Soulless, but he's going to be chased out also. Let's see. Merc has a Heron Healer, and he's going to attempt to do something with this flag. He has 4 heals left. I think, unfortunately for him, the Stygian Knights are not undead, so he can't heal them to kill them. He has to actually fight them. So I think it's just going to be too much for his Heron Healer to handle. Meanwhile, there's a couple of fetch remaining, Adrenaline and Osmodian. Adrenaline's going to split those up. But there is so much here. There's 3 fetch, and there's a ton of Soulless. Father Xmas has some Soulless, but they're not in too great shape. So only 2 fetch remaining for Team Asmo, and they're going to attempt to hope for a draw at this point. Mercadon retreats after he realizes he's not going to be able to take that flag. He's going to instead hope to, I don't know what he's going to do. He's looking for roots. I guess if he picks up all of the roots everywhere, maybe he can attempt to deal with it. By if while he's fighting, if his health gets low, maybe he can heal himself. I don't know. It could work. It depends on if the heal stops or not when he gets hit, if he flinches. So Adrenaline gets a kill, but may end up losing. He does lose that fetch there. There's just so much Soulless converging on this flag. And Osmodian has the last remaining fetch for his team.
Flag contested.
He is going to kind of rush out in a last-ditch effort to take out this fetch. They do have the advantage when it comes to melee, but they're, you know, the fetch advantage is definitely going to Giant Killer General. Eastwind losing his fetch there, but Kruniak still has 2. Eastwind's going to clean up Father Xmas though.
Flag
and LN slips through.
Flag
Adrenaline wasn't able to stop him. He's going to contest that flag. And Adrenaline there just got zapped. Osmodian's team, they're basically down to that 1 unit. And hopefully Merc can make something happen here. He's got 5 heals. But nope, he isn't going to be able to take the flag. And so that's it for Game 3. It's a clear victory once again for Team Giant Killer General. and so they've won the match at 3 games. There's 2 games remaining. It is a best of 5, so we'll go ahead and bring you those. But before that, let me look at some of these, some of the player stats. Look at how some of these players did. Adrenaline did pretty well, 94 damage, but only 7 kills to 15 losses. Merc doing really well in terms of ratios, 14 kills and 6 losses, but only managed 53 damage. Not too much. Other than that, Sin managed to get 60 damage, which is quite a lot, relative to the other members of the team. Even though his ratios were pretty appalling, 5 kills, 14 losses. That's not really something you like to see when you're checking out your ratios. Giant Killer General's team, on the other hand, Eastwind doing really well. 17 kills, 7 damage, 130 or 7 losses, 132 damage. Gecko with 14 kills. Yeah, these players did all doing pretty well. Giant Killer General, 98 damage for him, even though he had quite a few losses. He had some spiders and Solus that just got vaporized. So nothing too valuable. I think spiders only cost 1 unit trading point, so losing 6 spiders isn't really too bad. And then LN managing 0 losses, 60 damage, pretty good. The only player in the game, other than Ramirez and Funky, who didn't even play, to not lose anything. Well, that's enough tooting my own horn. Alright, so game number 4 is going to be the next one. Hope you check those out when I get those online. Thanks again for watching. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. I'm the NewMutator, and we'll see you in game 4.
Game over.